Here now with more is Congressman Jim Jordan. He is a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, do you have a reaction to what happened today?
Well, I mean, look, markets change, markets fluctuate, markets correct. I do think the president is exactly right. The economy is strong. Just a week and a half ago, I was home across our district, and every single business owner I talked to talked about that they're expanding, building is happening, they're hiring people, wages are going up, so good things are happening out there. We'll see what happens with this market as we move forward.
One thing that wouldn't help would be a government shutdown or no agreement on, all the work you guys have to do with the budget and everything else. I mean, I hope you're aware of that.
Yeah, but the only thing worse than that, Melissa, is continued increases in spending. So we in the Freedom Caucus want to stop this non-defense discretionary growth in government. That is a problem. We're on pace. If the numbers that are being talked about actually happen with the budget, we're going to be approaching $1 trillion deficit and an increase in discretionary spending just this year of close to $250 billion. That could be sending a message to the bond market. That could be driving up. That could have some impact on the market. So let's control spending like the American people sent us here to do. That's what those of us in the Freedom Caucus are working on trying to accomplish.
Without question, but looking dysfunctional doesn't, make people feel confident about the country and that the economy will continue growing. I mean, where do we stand on some of the biggest issues?
Well, I think what should happen this week is we should fund the military for the full year, not increase spending on the rest of government, and that should be the package. And I think that's probably where the Freedom Caucus will be. We have a meeting this evening where we'll talk about that. But what we can't have is just ever-growing government that just gets built into the baseline and over the next several years just continues to grow. We're already at, as you know, a debt-to-GDP ratio of 1-to-1. That is not a good place to be. So let's get a handle on the non-defense spending. We need defense spending, obviously, to protect this great nation. But you can't keep growing the rest of government like Democrats want to do. That's going to be the real fight.
But you've gone so long without a real budget. I mean, when we say stuff like that out loud and when you continue to do these continuing resolutions, none of us could run our homes like that. Nobody could run their business like that. I mean, that doesn't restore confidence. Is there any chance that we would see more working together?
Well, let's hope so. But remember what the Democrats said just 3 weeks ago. They said they weren't going to fund our troops. They weren't going to fund the government because they wanted amnesty for people who came here illegally. That's the Democrats' problem. I can't do anything about that if that's their position. Now, thankfully, they woke up and saw the light and said, no, we're going to change. We're actually going to keep the government back open. But what we're saying is let's just do what we need to do for national defense. Everyone agrees that's a bipartisan issue. Everyone agrees what that level of funding should be. But let's not increase the rest of government. After all, the American people elected Republicans to do just that. So let's remember what we told them we were going to do. Let's get that accomplished. Let's do it on the right time frame. Let's not continue to have these short-term spending bills. But let's do what we were sent here to do. If we do that, I think that'll be good for the overall economy.
Are you getting any closer to a deal on DACA and the wall? And that seems to have fallen apart a bit. I mean, it seems like the president offered Democrats what they said they wanted. They jumped to another position, which seems to telegraph to everyone else that there's just not a deal to be had.
Yeah, well, I'm much more concerned about doing what we said, doing what the American people elected us to do, than I am about any kind of deal. The proposal put out this morning by Senator McCain and Senator Coons, I think, was a bad proposal. The Graham-Durbin proposal is a bad proposal because it's not consistent with what the American people elected us to do. So let's get focused on that. Border security wall needs to happen, ending of chain migration, stopping this crazy sanctuary city policy, making sure we have E-Verify, making sure we get rid of the visa lottery. Those are the key elements of an agreement that need to happen because that's what the American people elected us to do in 2016.
Congressman Jim Jordan, thank you.
You bet.